Hey y'all, welcome to Fred's podcast, the podcast where we talk about controversial things. I'm your host, Jasmine Ortega, and I'm here with.
Cool.
Today we're going to be talking about whether Cole would consider yourself Gen Z or Gen Alpha. To give you some background, Gen Alpha is a generation, Gen Z is also a generation, but they're two different generations, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'd probably consider myself Gen Z. I was born in 2012, and just like really think that I, that I am Gen Z because my little brother is Gen Alpha and all that, and he acts way different than I do. I'm more like calm, cool, and collected, and he's like way more energetic, and I think that's like maybe what Gen Z is. I don't really know, but another thing that Gen Z might be is also we grew up with like more technology than all the other ones, but Gen Alpha did way more. Like I didn't get a phone until I was um, around 10, and then my little brother got one when he was like 7. So he's on the games a lot more.
Oh, okay. That actually makes perfect sense. I understand what you mean. Because it seems like there's little kindergartners who have phones and all that, and it's just like, you're 6. Why do you have a phone? But so another thing that goes into that, like, let me explain more. The controversy behind it is because some people would consider themselves Gen Alpha who were born in like 2012 and all that, because sometimes when you Google like the dates, sometimes for Gen Z it'll say like 1997 to 2012, but then sometimes it'll say like 1995 to 2010. So there's just a lot of confusion. Do you ever feel that you could maybe be both?
No, not really because my birthday was on February and not on like halfway through the month, like December or something. I'm just throwing some random date out there. But like my birthday wasn't on December, so I wouldn't fall into the next year basically.
But what I mean is because you know how some of the older Gen Z is definitely not growing up how we're growing up, even though we both consider ourselves Gen Z. Do you think that we could maybe be a mix of both, kind of, because it's like borderline, like we're kind of right in the middle between what Gen Alpha and Gen Z end and start?
Yeah, I think that would be a possibility, but we also didn't get like iPhones that are older than our age until we're like 10. Like at least I've seen more people born in 2012 that are Gen Z in like January, February, and all those closer months to the start of the year. I've seen them get a phone around 10, maybe like 12, 13 ish. And, but then this Gen Z confusion is like, uh, oh, they get a phone as soon as they're born and all that. That I've never seen that happen personally, but I also haven't been like around the world a lot. But Gen Alpha, they definitely like get a phone right uh like around 7, like kindergarten status, still not going up into like 5th grade and all that.
Oh, do you think that it doesn't only have to do with like the technology and the age, also has to do with some of the things that they have that we didn't? Like we didn't have Cocomelon and all that. We watched, like, did you watch PBS Kids? Like,
Yeah, I loved PBS Kids.
so that's what I think. I think that I am Gen Z because I was born September of 2011. So I myself would not consider myself Gen Z because I'm not Gen Z, Gen Alpha, because of the way that I've grown up. It's not too different, but it's definitely not the same as the way my little sister and brothers are growing up that are most definitely Gen Alpha.
Yeah, I would say that too. Like I have seen my little brother watch like PBS Kids and all that, but it's that the website has also like become different and all that. Like back in 20 around 2015, I'd always go out to my grandma's house, and me and my cousin would just sit in my aunt and uncle's room just watching Wildcats all day. But then it was like dedicated. It was a dedicated show, but now it's like just episodes that we'll just randomly tune on. And also with like YouTube and all that, that has definitely changed too, because we didn't have YouTube Shorts in like 2012, 2015, all that. But then in 2021, YouTube Shorts and like TikTok really blew up. That's when like everything started changing. Like Devious Licks trend, which was Gen Alpha, and then Tide Pod Challenge, which was also Gen Alpha.
Yes, that also. But you know what also goes along with the social media and YouTube and like what you said, the brain rot.
Yeah.
The like, I don't know. Could you give me some examples?
Uh, I don't really know too much, but just by being in middle school and being around sixth graders and some seventh graders that actually do TikTok and all that, because I don't personally have it, my mom won't let me. But people who have it, I've heard of like Italian brain rot and a whole bunch of other things that I did not know of for a long time until I just overheard everything.
Okay, well, thank you for that insight. Thank you for tuning into for to. Thank you for tuning into today's episode of Fred's podcast. I'm your host Jasmine Ortega, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.